Geek out. Welcome to another episode of Out Geeked. Today we have a cool episode featuring the X-Wing from Star Wars.
And I have the Bird-of-Prey from Star Trek.
These iconic sci-fi franchises are really close to our hearts and part of our lives, so we're going to go over them on this Out Geeked episode. So get ready to geek out with Out Geeked. So yes, right here I do have the X-Wing from Star Wars. This is a Lego kit. I've always wanted to get one, and I did get one a long time ago. Since I was a little kid, I always wanted to build one. I've watched all the Star Wars movies growing up. So thank you to George Lucas for developing these movies, these live action movies with the Force, the lightsabers. Just overall, always a great time to rewatch and just think about all these movies. So Lego has taken Star Wars like pretty much a baby, and has always developed new Lego models for all the ships that are available in the Star Wars legacy. So you see it on the movie, and believe me, it will be a Lego kit. So since little, I always wanted to build the X-Wing. I always wanted the toys. I always wanted to one day fly one, right? As the imagination can, carry a kid very far. So the X-Wings, this one in particular is piloted by Luke Skywalker. It has R2-D2 right on the top, telling him, what's behind him, what's coming around, and helping him in the battle of defeating the Death Star. So just a really iconic scene, them traveling to outer space, fighting in the trenches of the Death Star to try to blow it up. We all know the story. Like I said, you guys see this plane, sitting on a shelf. You will know exactly what it is, where it's come from, because it's just that iconic. I love it. I had lots of fun building. Again, this 560 pieces. Took me about an hour and a half to complete it. Had lots of fun building it. This actually was sitting with the wings closed like that in my shelf. When I first got it in my first apartment or house, I had this actually stuck to the wall, so I had it standing like this. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so you guys can see probably on the camera. There's two like sticky these Lego parts where they still have some kind of glue on it, because it was just sticking to my wall like this, and just sit there for people to see. I just thought it was really cool. My wall didn't like it because it fell a couple of times. It fell, and I had to rebuild it again. And luckily, I did have the instructions, but it didn't break. It didn't shatter completely. Just broken like 2 or 3 pieces, and I just had to snap them together. But it's great to show it off, to put it as part of your collection and have it display in your house or in your man cave. Now it's on my man cave. I did get married, so all those nice toys get put away pretty quickly. And they don't get displayed, but they just move, and through time they keep disappearing. So out of my wall. They got replaced by pictures and memories. So I mean, every guy my age that has a man cave will understand what I mean. So overall, great Lego set. I would buy this if you like the X-Wing. I like how you can open up the wings and close them. I like that action. On the back, you have like, if it was the boosters were on, they were on fire. Really cool feature. Really cool design. I mean, you see it and it's the X-Wing. It's right. Like if it was out of the movies, it has all the markers, all the stickers. Really good replica of it. I'm sure there's other ones that are more 100% replicas. This one's the one that I could afford back then. And back in the day, this one was probably like $60 or $70 when Lego sets were actually affordable. Nowadays, they are very expensive. I saw this exact same one, brand new, in the box in Amazon for like $180. So it's pretty expensive right now. But we know there's the Millennium Falcon out there. It's huge. I could sit here and name a bunch of ships that are actually Lego kits. But that one's huge. That one probably take me days to finish, and probably take the whole table here. I'll probably have to buy another table to put it next to us so that we can sit and talk about it.
The table too.
Probably in front of the table.
How wide it is.
That's right. Yeah. So. Overall, a great Lego piece. I loved it. I love building it. I love seeing it display in my shelf. I usually display it with the open wings. But overall, great job by Lego.
Oh yeah, what I really do like is the function in the back where you turn the knob and the wings open. Very Bionicle-esque, which I do love.
That's right.
And then you can't go wrong with the X-Wing. It's one of the most iconic Star Wars spaceships in the franchise. You see you don't have to watch Star Wars. You don't even need to know what Star Wars, but you can know what an X-wing is. It's the iconic trench run, like you said, for the Death Star. It is cool. I love it. It would be cool to get like a Lego TIE fighter to pose it next to the X-wing. That'd be kind of cool to see the villain ship and the good guy ship together.
Yeah, maybe I could get that one. I do have a newer TIE ship, but it's not the OG.
Yeah, you're not the classic.
Not the yeah,
not the classic one.
Yeah,
I love me some Star Wars. And you said, which one's your favorite one again? Star Wars. Your favorite Star Wars?
Episode 1.
Episode 1.
Yeah, episode 1.
Yeah, I love
episode 1. Episode 1's really cool. I like. I mean, I like all my Star Wars movies. I mean, now you see, from the beginning to the end. Even the latest ones are pretty cool.
Yeah, they're not bad. I like them.
Yeah. So how about you? What you got there?
I have the Klingon Bird-of-Prey from Star Trek. This one is made from Mattel. I found this toy in a flea market, funny enough, in like one of those cheap buckets they have for toys for like $1. And I was like, I gotta pick it up. I love the Klingon Bird-of-Prey. It's one of the most iconic Star Trek ships. The Klingons, as some of you know, are like the frenemies of the Star Trek Federation. They're like the bad guys most of the time, but later on in some series they become like, they're still not their friends, but they're like allies depending on the situation of the galaxy. This one specifically is from the Next Generation. That one's actually my favorite Star Trek series. That's the one that got me into Star Trek. I didn't start watching Star Trek, and I didn't watch the original. I watched the movies, the recent movies. When I was,
I did like the 2 recent movies, live action movies.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. I like them as well. But when I finally became a fan was when I watched Star Trek: The Next Generation. That's like the 80s, 90s one. That was cool. I like that one, and I saw this ship on this in a few episodes on it. That's pretty cool. I just like the design. It's definitely, hence the name of Bird-of-Prey. It's a warship. It has like it has the photon torpedoes, the 2 disruptor cannons, and the tractor beam in the bottom. Right here, that's where the photon torpedo will be launched, and these are the disruptor cannons. And it could go from flight mode to like battle mode with like a simple flip of the switch. It's not my most amazing looking toy, but I just love the ship design from Star Trek. And I was like, I have a display with my other Star Trek displays, and I figured if you're gonna do X-Wing for Star Wars, I figured I'd bring something from Star Trek.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely got me on Star Trek. Really, I never seen the series. What was that channel you used to be on? Was it Sci-Fi?
It's Sci-Fi and Spike. It used to be a lot of Spike.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I never watched none of those. I did watch the 2 movies from Star Trek, live action ones. Those were pretty good.
I'd recommend Star Trek Next Generation. It's really good. You can watch the original too from the 60s. It's cool. Then one definitely I highly recommend Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Excuse me. It's I think it came out last year or 2 years ago. I'm not 100% exactly know when it came out. I want to say last year. It's pretty good. It's like a prequel series to the original, but made with more modern technology and more. It's nice. I like it. I highly recommend it if you're new to Trek. Star Trek is like, people say they're like rivals with Star Wars, but I never really, as a fan of both, I never considered them as rivals. Like Star Wars is more like action, like science fiction. Like for some people, they actually call Star Wars like science fantasy. Like it's more magical and stuff. While Star Trek is more grounded. It's like science, so they kind of refer to it as more of a science fiction. So I can enjoy both. Is that cool? I kind of like watching the slower paced Star Trek episodes sometimes, but you can't go wrong with like the more action packed episodes in Star Wars. I love them both. It's great star spacefaring franchises.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I mean, there were pretty much the what launched the whole Star Wars and Galactic and all those kind of shows that are based off outer space and exploring the world. And a lot of movies got made, and other franchises also were launched too that are space explorers and all that kind of stuff. So these were the first first shows that were out there about exploring the world and beyond Earth.
If not the first, probably the one that's probably started it, the interest a bit more. I know this one also came with stickers, but like I said, I bought this in a flea market, but the stickers are surprisingly still intact. I bought this like probably good 10 or 15 years ago.
Looks fair. Yeah, it looks fairly old toy.
Oh yeah. I mean, this one you open up, it's supposed to come with like a mini fig. Obviously, that's no longer available. That wasn't even in the box. But it's cool. I like the Klingon Bird-of-Prey ship. One of the most iconic ships from the Star Trek series. Most of you guys will know the most famous ships from Star Trek is the Enterprise. My favorite is the Enterprise D from Star Trek: The Next Generation, which it crossed paths with the Bird-of-Prey before. But yeah, it's cool. I like both franchises. I don't see why you can't like them both. Just different types of like space traveling shows. You know.
So what we got? We got pretty much just laser guns in Star Trek, and we have laser swords or star sabers in Star Wars.
You got Star Wars has their lightsabers for sure.
Did I just say star sabers?
Yeah, you did.
What the hell is Star Sabers? Is a Power Ranger thing.
No, it's also from Transformers.
Okay.
Because previous episode we were talking about Armada. The Star Saber was when the three minicons combined.
Whoop! There's a blooper. Lightsabers. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, George Lucas is somewhere, man. It's just
Star Sabers.
No, I kind of like that name. I'm gonna use that. Yeah. Star Trek doesn't have no laser swords per se, but they do have like traditional swords and stuff. They got their phasers where it's kind of like it's not like a ray gun, but they shoot like lasers and you can set to stun or to kill. It's kind of cool. They don't have no lightsaber. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not like the biggest Star Trek fan. I know somebody that's probably like, oh, I told you about their version of the lightsabers before, and he's gonna probably yell at me later. But like, I love Star Trek. I love Star Wars. You can't go wrong with either. You can enjoy them both.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I never watched. I'm sure I could enjoy Star Trek. I did watch the two movies. The two movies were really good. I do recommend those two movies. They're newer than the show, obviously, but I always was a Star Wars fan. I never gave Star Trek a chance, so I'll take a look at it and watch some of those shows you recommended.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I started as a Star Wars fan first. I mean, Star Wars was always a lot easier to get into. But throughout the years, I was like, let me try Star Trek out, and it was actually pretty good. I like it. There's episodes that made me question things, and it was cool, like actually thinking about, like, oh, okay, I like that ideas. Maybe the exploration is probably one of my favorite things about Star Trek.
Is Captain Kirk on that Star Trek show the same guy that plays the Xavier, Professor X?
Jean-Luc Picard is the captain. Captain Kirk is your first captain from the original. Mm-hmm. But yes, Patrick Stewart, who played Jean-Luc Picard, was the captain on Star Trek Next Generation. And then he plays Professor Xavier in the X-Men.
Okay. That's what I was like, I've seen that guy somewhere. I mean, I haven't sat down and watched an episode, but I have seen,
but you know of it because it's right up there with Star Wars as a famous pop culture. So you've seen the characters, you just didn't know the name. Like, you didn't put the connections right there.
Right. But yeah, that closes up this episode. Thank you guys for watching. This was my X-Wing from Star Wars Lego kit of 560 pieces.
And I have the Bird-of-Prey from Star Trek Mattel, one piece.
So remember to subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so that you do not miss another episode.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below if you watch Star Wars. What's your favorite Star Wars movie, cartoon, game, or whatever? If you watch Star Trek, let us know what's your favorite series, movie. Are you a fan of both? Tell us why. Just whatever Star Trek, Star Wars related, just let us know in the comment below.
And also remember to grab your lightsaber, and geek out. So this is our style of.
This is our style, our generation of art. You say, you know how some people have art display in their house, statues, busts. We have these toys that we like to display.